Hello, hello. And yes, I am back here live again. And I see Jerry's already here. Wonderful. Hello, all you wonderful sewists. Hello, hello. It is wonderful to see everyone today. Isn't it wonderful when technology works correctly? It can bring us all together no matter where we are in the world. It's so wonderful. And yes, I am streaming live to Janome Canada's Facebook page. I'm just double checking. Yes, I am. Live to Janome Canada's Facebook page, live to Janome America's Janome Sewing Machines Facebook page, live to Janome Canada YouTube channel, and Janome America's YouTube channel. My name is Michael Smith, the National Education Manager of Janome Canada. Yes, back from my palatial estate here in Collingwood, Ontario, Canada. I'm about 2 hours north of Toronto, and it's still beautiful, beautiful weather today. Hopefully it stays that way, knock wood. But as I always say, regardless of the weather, let's just stay inside and sew. Oh, lovely. And my sister Deb is here. Hello. Great to see you all. Oh, I should definitely turn down the volume on my computer. Yes, because some people forget that I'm live now. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, we are in the midst of, oh, lovely. And my sister Cindy is here. Fabulous. We're in the midst of National Sewing Month. Oh, and my father is watching too. Thank you. We're in the midst of National Sewing Month, and we're doing some projects on our Janome Life blog that you can all check out. Some I have already posted, some I will be posting, so stay tuned to Janome Life blog for some quick, easy projects, as well as the Learn and Create tab on Janome America's website, and in Canada, our janome.ca site, it's the Inspire tab, and you will see these cute, adorable little drawstring bags. Now, this could be a cute little sachet bag. Maybe you put in some jewelry or maybe some treats. Maybe you want to gift a sewing buddy with some friends or some gifts. And then you can just tie them up in here. Or I think about with, again, back to school, the kids are in school, maybe the kids would like to learn to sew. They can make these little drawstring bags very quick and very easy, and putting maybe the apple for the teacher or a little gift for the teacher here in the drawstring bags. They could even, hang them up on a little hook in their room. They're so simple to make. And of course, maybe this is the size you want the little trick-or-treat bag, or of course the kids want a bigger size. So what a great little trick-or-treat bag this would make. So yes, we can make them in any size. I made this big Janome one. It's about 12 inches. And it's got this beautiful decorative cuff here on a contrasting fabric, which is actually the lining. It's a very cool technique where the lining comes up and around. Here, box corner, so we can stuff it full. This could be, again, like a little overnight bag, maybe, as the kids are doing overnights at a friend's house. This could be a little gym bag, or how about a shoe bag? So simple. And then, yes, we can use some decorative ribbon, or this is some beautiful yarn. My sister Deb is this wonderful knitter, crocheter. She's got tons of yarn. Well, how about you use your extra yarn as your drawstrings? So I'm going to show you a couple of little alternatives here. Let's flip around, because as always, the time will go by so fast. So where do we find all of these projects? Now, I am in Canada, so again, I will show for our janome.ca, but in America, you go to janome.com, and then here we go to our, in Canada, it's the Inspire tab, and in America, it's the Create and Learn tab. So as we scroll through here, just a few things that here in Canada, we are offering, if you purchase this fabulous CM17 until September 30th to celebrate National Sewing Month. You purchase your CM17 at your Janome Canada dealer by September 30th, and then you can book a complimentary 2-hour class with either Amanda or myself. Or if you have in French, for example, then our fabulous Celine or Marie Agnes would give you that class. So make sure you contact your Janome Canada dealer if you would love that CM17 with a complimentary lesson until September 30th. So yes, we go to the Inspire tab until, boom, there we go. And then we click projects. And then boom, here, this cute little duckling tote embroidered tote bag. So this is the inspiration of this drawstring bag that our Janome Canada educator Amanda wrote the instructions, that we can download the instructions here in English or in French. And it has this cute little mini duckbill, mini duckling design that we had to coincide with our cute 4-inch mini duckling scissors. This is a free embroidery design on janome.ca. So Amanda embroidered her tote, and you can print out all of these instructions. I am just going to do the plain tote with no embroidery, because I figured for a lot of beginners, they wouldn't have an embroidery machine. But of course, you always know where to get one. Now, there is also a wonderful blog post that came out today advertising my live, and here all about the drawstring tote. So then this is where you can click and find many links within the blog posts. You can click on many links to again take you to those files directly and those instructions directly. And if there is a YouTube video, there'll be links there to go to that YouTube video. So again, subscribe to your Janome Life blog. And then this blog post of the drawstring bag was from earlier last month that I posted this, that Amanda wrote. And again, you can make, look at this, it's a nice big bag. You can make these any size. So in Amanda's blog post from August 9th, you would type in your search box here on Janome Life blog. You can type in drawstring bag, and it will come up. Here are the instructions. And she has advised you can make this any size you wish. You have where it's your main fabric, you'll have 2 of them, and then you'll need the height for your accent. So here is, again, your main body bag, in this case, my green, my main body piece, and then here is the accent. So we need 1 accent to go up, another accent to go down, another accent to go up, and another accent to go down. So we need 4 of the height of our accents here, plus, again, the body of our bag. So this is where we have, again, 2 main body pieces and then 4 accents. So that is 1 big rectangle of fabric, and then we need 2 main accents. They can be as wide as you want. We need 2 main fabrics, and then again the accent. So this is all on Amanda's Janome Life blog post dated August 9th. You just type in your search box about drawstring bag, and it will come up no problem. So it's a guide to make any size you wish. Now I'm following Amanda's original instructions to make this a 7-inch. This makes, it's a 7-inch square that I start off with, and then I end up with this cute little rectangular basket here with that accent. So you can download and print out your PDF instructions. There's even a link to get this cute little mini duckling design. But if you're not going to do the embroidery, you would start with a larger piece of fabric if you're going to embroider. But by not doing the embroidery, what I need, according to the instructions here, I need 2 7-inch pieces of fabric, 2 7-inch squares, which I have here, 2 7-inch squares, and then I need 1 long 7-inch by 22-inch piece of fabric. And again, what that is 2 heights of your main fabric plus the height of your accent times 4. And again, it's so easy to do, but do read Amanda's original blog post from August 9th, and it'll totally make sense to you. So all I'm going to do is take this 7-inch square and sew it onto the long end of the, or the short end of this 7-inch by 22-inch square. or a rectangle. Now, what I'm going to use is the 1/4 inch foot. Now, again, as we're learning to sew and we're helping to refine our skills, we love using these dedicated presser feet that really help the results. So this has a little guide here at the side, the O foot, 1/4 inch O foot. It either comes with your machine or you can get it from your Janome dealer. Really good to use, just snap on. Now here in my Skyline S7AE, I can't use this foot, or I shouldn't really use this foot with center needle position. That's not going to be a 1/4 inch. But I can easily go into my decorative stitches or quilting category here, and then click on quilting, and then I want that 1/4 inch piecing stitch. That's what that P stands for. My machine is automatically adjusted to 8.3. It has swung the needle over here to the right, as indicated on the LCD screen, and then my stitch length has shortened to 1.8. That's a nice tight stitch. So we know this bag is going to be very secure, especially as, again, a little treats bag or an overnight bag, a little special goodie bag, whatever you want it to be. So very quickly, I know my time is going to run out, and believe me, these bags get so addictive. So we're just going to sew a 1/4 inch down one side, and having this guide on my foot really helps keep my stitching nice and accurate. Again, as we're learning to sew, it's great to help improve our skills. So having the dedicated presser feet really make a difference. My perfect 1/4 inch seam. So I do that on each side. So in my 22 by 7 inch, 7 inch by 22 inch, this is my accent piece. I have piece together. This is my main fabric piece, 7 by 7. And then boom, on the other side, I did the other 7 by 7. And then I fold this in half. So the cut edges of these two main body pieces align at the edge. And we can help by offsetting our seam allowances here. We can press one seam allowance up and one seam allowance down. Do you see there? This seam is down and this seam is up. So they just kind of lock together or nest together. So that will really help distribute the bulk. And we can just clip that together. Ooh, very quickly. Time is going by so fast already. There we go. Click that together. And then as we fold this in half, then, oops, I just want to refine my other seam. And as we fold this then in half, meeting again these cut edges up here, we're going to then fold this all out flat, and we're going to draw on some marks to help us with our sewing. So according to, again, Amanda's instructions, now this is really quite simple and easy, so you can really customize it however you wish. But she recommends here as my seam line of where my 7-inch piece was attached to my rectangle, I'm going to take my measuring tool and go down approximately an inch and make a little mark on the edge of my fabric. I'm going to do that on both sides. Then I'm going to come down, she suggests, about half of an inch. In this case, I went down about 5/8 of an inch just to leave a little opening. This is where the drawstring is going to run through. So we definitely need to leave an opening, again, on both sides of the bag. So we do that on one side, and then again, those same registration marks on the other side. Now, we also want to leave an opening somewhere down in the middle of the bag. We want to leave about a 3-inch opening and make your little tick marks here. This is how we're going to turn the bag right side out. So we do need to leave that opening. And then this, again, is a fold, but we just press that fold out because we're going to be stitching along this. So that's very simple. That's all we need to do, and match those cut edges. So then I'm going to start here at this notch, lower notch, that lower mark. for where my drawstring will come out. And again, the width of that opening really depends on the width of your drawstring. I'm going to do a little back stitch here. So in Amanda's instructions, she says, oh, you could use 1/4 of an inch wide ribbon, but I'll show you some alternatives. So depending on the width of your ribbon depends the width of that opening. So now I'm at the little notch for the opening where I'm going to turn this right side out. So I'm going to back stitch here as well, and then raise my foot and raise my needle so I can move. I didn't bother to cut my threads. I could right now, but I won't bother. I just like putting my needle down in my fabric there. Again, line up the fabric, the raw edge of the fabric with the edge of the foot, and just sew straight off and cut. Again, this is so simple, so easy. So we're going to just go right around completely. Now, even though this is a fold here, I'm still going to stitch right across it, no problem. And again, I won't bother stitching this entire thing. Even though it really does not take that long. You can make this bag in about the time that you're watching this live. Doesn't take much time after that. So again, I'm coming now up to that other notch on the other side of my bag where my drawstring will be. So reverse. And then I can cut my threads, or again, I generally just leave and run this little long floating stitch. I'll trim it off later. And then I'm coming up to my little spot of where I need to backstitch. There we go. And then this is where my seams are locking together. Now you can feel when your seams are offset. So one is going up and the underneath seam is going down. You can feel when they're locked, when they're flat. It definitely makes it more professional. It distributes some of the weight. It makes it easier to turn out. So then again, I'm almost here at this corner. It is so fun to do. And with Halloween coming up, again, how perfect would these be for your trick-or-treat bag? Now, if you do go on Janome Life Blog, you will also type in trick-or-treat, or type in Halloween, or just type in tote bag, and you will find in that search box, and you will find so many other related blogs all about trick-or-treat bags and tote bags. So here I go, and then again, I'm coming up, make sure that is offset. So boom, as you see, it really does not take that long, and I'm coming right back up to where, again, my drawstring would come out. So I backstitch that opening. Perfect. Then my 4-inch mini duckbill scissors, as I often say, I cannot sew without. This is where, again, I just trim off these floating threads like that. So I have the opening for my drawstring. I have the opening where I'm going to flip my bag right side out. So now that it's completely flat, then I take my ruler and I'm going to box the corners. This is what allows some shape in our bag. So how big you box these corners really depends on how big your bag is. So this is my, again, finished bag. It's a 7 in, it started as a 7 by 7 inch square. So by boxing the corners, then 1.5 inch from the raw edge on each side. So I have this lovely square up ruler. I can just go 1.5 up and 1.5 over, and I just draw this little box. And I do this on each of the 4 corners. So very simple to do. Now, again, how big your bag is. Oops, this bag, I boxed mine off. There's the center seam. I boxed mine off, I believe, 2.5 inches. So this is a nice wide, like 5-inch opening at the bottom. So I can stuff that bag really full. But again, how big you box these corners off is really up to you and really depends how big your bag is. As a smaller bag like this, again, 1.5 inches on each side is good. It's a good size. We don't want to make it too big. That'll shorten your bag ultimately. So it really depends on what you want. And again, you'll see my opening right up here is away from this corner. So after we have boxed those corners, after we have drawn on the box, take my cute little, these are precision snips. Look how short, look how fine those points are. These are from our 9-piece Janome scissor set. So double check with your Janome dealer. Look at this. I love these. I love my mini duckbill scissors, but again, there's a scissor for every purpose. These right down to the tips. When you're cutting away these corners, you do not want to use your rotary cutter. Trust me. You want these fine little precise snips right into the corner. And these scissors from the Janome scissor kit are made by the manufacturers who make chef's knives, super sharp chef's knives. So Janome has contracted them to make our scissors, which is why they are so precise. I have had mine for years and I've never needed to sharpen them. They can be sharpened, but so far I haven't needed them. They are so sharp. So after I cut my corners, then very simple, we're going to fold these out and you'll see the seam allowance underneath, and there too we're just going to offset these seam allowances. So one is going to go up and the other is going to go down. So it boxes off the corners so we can have more dimension in our bag. And by offsetting the seam allowances, everything again just turns out so beautiful and it just stays flatter. We can backstitch right here, boom. So again, it takes me longer to explain things than it is to actually do it. But there we go. So offset, I try to match the same. This seam allowance is going this way, so I want to carry that through to make sure that seam allowance goes that way. The underneath seam can go underneath. So there we go. So simple to do. So we box these off. Then after we box all 4 corners off, I will do my last one here. And then you'll see after I stitch that through, again, just to save time. After I do all 4 corners, then I'm ready to flip it out. There we go, our little test kitchen sample here. So after all 4 corners are boxed, you go into your opening of where you left that big opening. Now, depending on your hands, again, for kids, they might not have to leave a bigger opening with their little hands. But then here I get into the corners. There we go, to make that nice box corner. Now, if it helps, you could use your bamboo point turner and get in there and really poke out. Look at that beautiful sharp corner. Beautiful sharp corner. Now, this is technically the inside of my bag, but still, I want the inside to look as beautiful as the outside. So we can use that mini or that bamboo point turner. See that beautiful sharp corner. So just makes it so beautiful. And then bring out the bag here. Now be careful with your directions. As I learned, your directional print, you have to think about how you're sewing this on, because now actually my ice cream cones are going to be upside down, but this was just my test subject, so that's fine. It's wonderful. Just make these bags over and over again. They're so simple and easy to do. Now this is the opening then. So once my corners are all turned out and beautiful, we can go back and here's the opening. And we just tuck in our seam allowances. There we go. And then with a really skinny seam, since we sewed this at 1/4 of an inch, we could go along and we could stitch this, more like 1/8 of an inch. So we're like really close to the edge. We could do this by hand. Just make that a little neater there. Whoops. We could do this by hand, but I'll just do it by machine. So isn't that beautiful? We just boom. So just sew that up, and then we tuck in this bag. This is really fun. Then we tuck the bag in And then you can feel it with your boxed, oops, there are our boxed corners. And with my fingers inside, I'm trying to push down the lining, the contrast fabric here, into the box, into the corners, and get that all nice and situated. So isn't that cute? It's so simple. Now, again, with your directions, make sure that you sew them on correctly. I didn't at this point, but that's okay. But then that's basically your bag. Now, it really, really helps when you're pressing this. Do you have a sleeve board? I've had mine for over 30 years, including some fabric I burnt on it all those years ago. I studied fashion design at Sheridan College many, many years ago. So as a garment sewer, this is a sleeve board. It really makes it great if you're going to be pressing a sleeve, or look at that we can just put our little basket over and we can help press this out. So it's nice and flat, corners nice and sharp. Here is our contrast fabric. Here is the main fabric. So on this sample, I made sure to sew the ice cream cones on the correct way. So that definitely helps. Now, if you don't have a sleeve board, maybe your machine has, a free arm like this. The wonderful thing, our Skyline S7, our Skyline anniversary machines, including the S7, here in Canada, they come with that frosted acrylic extension table. If your machine does not have an extension table, perhaps there is one available from your Janome dealer. By having a free arm, though, it really is great. You can remove that extension table, and look at this. So without even pressing this on a sleeve board, we could press it by hand. Don't press it by machine, but we could press it by hand here on the free arm. Look how perfect that works. So I could just press this out, make it nice and smooth, just by using the free arm of my machine. Now is time to make a casing up here, because I have my little opening. There it is, where my little screwdriver is. There's the opening for my drawstring. Well, I need to form a casing of stitching here, just straight stitches. So then the drawstring will go through that casing. So on this outer edge, based on my my ribbon, based on my string, my draw cord, I'm just going to stitch 1/4 of an inch from the edge here of this sample. So again, you can decide. Amanda's got full instructions, so you can do it exactly as Amanda does. Or again, I've now done these enough times where I've started to refine them and customize them and make them my own. And that's really the joy of sewing, that you start off with a project, a free project on Janome Life Blog or janome.ca, janome.com. You start out with the free project, and then you can refine it and make it your own. So there's some back stitching. So I've used, again, that edge, 1/4 of an inch edge, to do that line of stitching on my cuff. And then now I need to do a second line of stitching. So I don't want to use this 1/4 of an inch foot anymore. I could just go back to my regular zigzag foot and clip that on. Now, to stitch further along in the body of my cuff here, I do have patented marks on my needle plate, but to make it even more accurate, oh yes, I can totally use this metal cloth guide that comes with some machines or is available in a blister pack from your Janome dealer. It screws into the metal threaded screw hole of the metal needle plates here. So I want to make sure, yes, I had started to mark. Yes, this is how far I need to go down. And then I'm going to go back to a regular center needle position. I'm going to lengthen my stitch to about a 3.0, a 3.5. I no longer need that tight stitch now to sew through these layers. So instead I lengthen my stitch to a 3.5, but could be 3.0. That's totally fine, or even a regular 2.4 is fine. So again, you decide. We can use the markings here on our patented needle plate. I'll just move it up. There we go. And then I'm just going to screw in nice and tight that metal guide. So boom. We want to improve our sewing skills. Look how simple. And with the free arm, isn't that wonderful? We can just go right around. So simple, so easy. Boom, you're done in no time. So after you sew that casing, then you're ready to throw in your ribbon. So in this case, and it makes it very easy when you use, oh, do I find the right end, with your ribbon, if you want to do the old-fashioned way, you know, with the safety pin, and then you find your little hole here. Ooh, get it in the right way. Because these seam allowance, there we go. Seam allowances are folded over. So then you just thread in your draw cord. Again, very simple. Oops, don't get your safety pin open. Keep that closed. There we go. And then again, we just feed these through very simply. All the way around till it comes out this side. Then you're going to take your other draw cord and you're going to go in this side all the way around until you come back to this hole. So that way there's going to be long cords on either side. Now, again, Amanda said to use a ribbon, 1/4 of an inch wide ribbon, but instead, this will be a fast demo because, again, time is my enemy. But instead, what I decided to use was my fabulous quilt binder set. Now, I've done many, many blogs, many videos, many lives on quilt binder sets. So I'm not really going to demo quilt binder set now because it's going to take too long. But you see how it folds in there? Look at that fabric. It is folded in on itself. So it folds in the raw edges and then out comes this perfect strip. Look at that. It is so perfect. So that's how I start off with a 2-inch wide strip. And then this comes down to about, 1/2 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch. Beautiful straight stitch. You could do decorative stitches. I just trimmed off at a 45-degree angle. So I used my quilt binder set, even though I'm not binding anything, but I made this perfect strap. So that is what I chose to use in my little bag here instead of ribbon. I didn't have any ribbon per se. Now maybe, again, you'll have to adjust the openings of your drawstring channel here with my 2 lines of stitching. Some of the beautiful ribbons from the fabric companies. This was a charm square pack. Or a fat quarter bundle, I think was tied with this Moda ribbon. So wouldn't that be fun to reuse as your drawstring? Or you take your wide beading foot very quickly. I demonstrated the beading foot last week. It's so beautiful. This is the wide groove beading foot. And this is very fun that you can snap that on very easily. And I think, good. I ran out of needle thread. That's what I ran out of. Okay, I knew my thread was running out and I forgot where I ran out. So then very quickly, I won't even maybe stitch this then since I have to rethread and I'm already over my time. But you just take your beading foot, 2 strands, in this case, of this beautiful decorative yarn. And then I just twist these in very easily, lock this into place. I'll just drop my foot. And then we will select a zigzag stitch. In this case, I'll use this M center needle position zigzag, and I'll make this really wide. So instead of that 3.0, I'll go up to, I'll do 7.0 with his maximum. I'll do this a little longer. I'll do it at 3.0. And then what I'm going to do while I'm stitching is just twist these a little bit. I don't have to do them super tight, but I'm going to sew as a zigzag. And this is where the yarn won't go through on its own. So you do have to kind of pull it through, but very gently. But you see, we would just be zigzagging together. Like so simple like that. So that's how I created that, all zigzag together. And even with black thread, like you barely see it, but it looked so cool. So very good textured yarn. And then again, I just threaded up the safety pin and then did a knot on the yarn here so it won't come out. So super simple to do. So these drawstring bags, you make them however, whatever size you wish. So cute. So much fun to be had. So make sure that you go to Janome Life Blog and find out the projects. You go to the Inspire tab on janome.ca or the Create and Learn tab on janome.com. If you are in, oh, Vanessa, hello. If you're in the Ottawa, Ontario area this coming weekend, I'm going to be at Fabrications Ottawa. They're a new Janome dealer in Ottawa, Ontario. So if you're there Friday and Saturday this coming weekend, or no, Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend, I will be there Friday setting up. But Saturday and Sunday, all day, I think it's about 10 till 4, 10 to 5, but go to fabrications.com website in Ottawa, and I hope to see you there this weekend demonstrating this and more. So thank you everyone so much for joining me, and have a fabulous day. I will see you all next week. Bye.